Hello, thanks for joining the Living Room TV show. My name is Chris Simmons, your primary host. I'll have each host introduce themselves, starting with co-host number two.
I'm Annie Alvarez. I own an executive recruiting firm here in Los Angeles, and I'm very excited to be chatting with you guys today.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Yende. I'm originally from Atlanta. I'm a video director and a video editor.
Hello, this is Kaleem the Great. I am a business owner, small business owner. I own a food truck. It's a mobile juice bar, and I live in Los Angeles, California.
And on today's episode, we're going to be discussing pretty much discrimination in the entertainment industry. So, we know that Van Jones sued Comcast a while back regarding unfair treatment of minorities in television. Also, in the entertainment industry, we also have issues with, the white versus black and the brown versus, black and et cetera. More pertaining to, you have Camilla, Cabello, and Gina Rodriguez saying racist things about, black people and things of that nature. You also have, is your own community supporting you? How does your own, community feel about other races of people and et cetera? So I would like to open up that floor to see what you guys think about the entertainment industry and how, other races see each other.
I guess I'll start with the Van Jones case against Comcast. I work for Los Angeles Urban League, and I was very or up close to what was going on, to the action, if you will, because Van Jones was a keynote speaker in one of our events, and that case was very important to minorities, specifically African American community, because it was giving basically Comcast the right, if they won, which they did, the right to discriminate and use a they were able to discriminate without saying, we're not showing your TV show because you're black, but because of something minute, but the real reason was because, Van Jones is black. And so it was a case that Comcast won. The Supreme Court ruled that Comcast was in their in the right not to show Van Jones's TV shows in their network. So anyway, I think that kind of took us a step back, because now other companies are going to be able to discriminate without really saying they're discriminating. And
they kind of do it already, so that ain't no difference.
Right, but they were kind of doing it without, and we all know that they're doing it, but in the court sides or in the U.S., the America sides, they're not discriminating because they're, because you're black or because you're brown. They're doing it for other reasons. So anyway, that kind of set us back a long way. Now, to say in the entertainment industry, I think that we should strive for the viewers' eyes to look at black and brown people differently. I think that we cast for shows that use stereotypes in our communities that other people like white see as in the regular world. So when you get you encounter a white person, for example, they think that, oh, you're dangerous because you're brown or because you're black, because of what they see on TV. And I think that that's kind of how discrimination's also built in other communities, or biases are built in other communities against, other people because of what is shown on TV. And I think we need to change that.
I definitely agree. Being in the entertainment industry, you hit on the strong point that the imaging can change the way you think of things. You know what I mean? The way police look at black people, because through TV, you always see that they're the criminals and they're the good guys. So now in reality, when they do encounter you, they automatically think about those images they see from movies and things. But also from the business standpoint, it's weird because numbers matter in business. And being in America, only 13% is black. So if I'm a producer and I'm trying to make the most money on my show, who do I hire as the lead role a white person, because a white person is going to relate more to more white people, or a black person is going to relate to more black people, which is a smaller demographic, versus a 50, you know what I mean, 56%. So your viewer rate would be different, you know what I mean? And that's where it gets like, it's money, you know?
But also, I wonder, like, the behind the scenes staff that is putting together these shows, these movies, this content, is there more access to allow the minority, Black and brown communities to work on, you know, as movie producers, directors, editors? I mean, all of that back end production staff, and I don't know all of them, but do you know, they also influence what they portray on the other side of the camera, right? So I think are more Latino and Black and low income community or minority people vying for those types of careers and industries? Because I think, you know, if we open it up to make it more accessible to them, then they will influence also what's portrayed and how they portray it.
I have an inside perspective on that. When I was in school and I did my internship, that's a real thing why I ended up going into business myself. I got on set, and like you said, there are different departments, and I got into camera department. And the first thing on set, everybody said to me, like 3 or 4 people, they don't let Black people in the camera department. Man, you better do your thing. And I'm like, damn. It's like, yeah, it's like there really isn't any Black directors. You know what I mean? Because the way the business works, you have a head of that department, and they get to choose their team. So it's all off of relationships. So if I like, you know, Billy, and I like this person, that's who I call back to work. So, you know, I'm busting my ass and stuff because I'm like, I'm listening to everybody saying it, like, boy, you better do your thing. And they like me. But what happened at the end of it, I never got any calls back. You know, everybody else on my team was white. I'm not saying that they, you know what I mean, have an issue with me, but some people feel more comfortable with their own people than outside.
I know that clearly, living in Kansas.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
How do we open that up, right? Like, how do we provide more resources to minorities, right? Like the Latino community is just grown exponentially over the last 20 years, right? So how do we give them, and maybe this starts in school, elementary, I don't know, high school, but how do we get them more involved in the arts, in the, not just drawing art, right, and music, because I think that's what schools are focused on, but more like, you know, media production, content production.
Yeah.
I don't think I have seen as many, and I wish that there were more programs that were accessible to them, because that would make a difference.
Well, this is the thing. We need to start, you know, and I hate to keep saying this, but we need to start supporting our own community now. You know, we're at that time where, okay, for example, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is doing it right now. I cannot say nothing bad about that guy, because I'm like, this man took his own money, no loans, no investors, no any of that, and started his own company. I can't say nothing bad about the man. You hear a lot of Black people, oh, he used to wear a dress, and he's like, who, so what? Look where you're working at and look where he's at. Big difference. I tell people that's what you have to look at, but also, you know, with the Black and brown community, and what gets me, because I love Sophia Vergara, and you know, she's very supportive of Black people, and Black people are very supportive of her because she's been in a lot of Tyler Perry movies. But then you have people like this, Camilla, Cabello, and Gina Rodriguez, who always have something negative to say about Black people. And I'm going to show some clips of it with you guys, because I'm just like, you know, if we're supposed to be supporting each other, and we're all minorities here according to the U.S. Constitution, why aren't we not sitting here trying to support each other or say things? So Camilla Cabello, not too long ago, apologized after an old racist rant resurfaces online. And I'm just like, okay, so you have a lot of hip hop, you know, artists that are Black that's in your videos and everything. And what gets me about this the most is not just her, but it's also her boyfriend that she dates that's also says something about Black people. I'm like, as a Latino artist, when they're being discriminated against, you know, they want everybody to band against them. And Black people always do, and Hispanic population do. But then when you say stuff like this, and oh, I was younger and I used to use that language, I'm ashamed of it, I start to get the feeling with Camilla, Cabello, and Gina Rodriguez, like, are you guys, sorry that you said the word, or are you sorry that your ass got caught? That's what I have to try to decipher the two, because I'm just like, this images and stuff have been out there for you for a while, and then all of a sudden, now it's a different story. And the same thing with Gina Rodriguez. This was reported by The Cut, and Gina Rodriguez has also, and you can also go on YouTube and see a lot of her videos. She had, was singing a Fuji song, and she was talking about, the niggas give me heebie-jeebies, and she kept emphasizing heebie-jeebies. I'm just like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, is this something, she wants people to support the Hispanic population when it comes to movies and videos, and we do that. We love that, but at the same time, you got to make sure that you show love and respect, because one of the things was when the Black Panther film came out, she had something bad to say about it. She said, oh, y'all got a black cast for Black Panther and everything, and Marvel's killing it. However, what about the Latinos? Well, shoot, there's been, white folks that has a lot of videos with just white folks in it, but she never said nothing about that. But when it came up regarding Black Panther, she has something negative to say about that. And so Kate Edison from Twitter said, I honestly wonder how Black Latinas like Gina Torres, Tatiana Lee, Tessa Thompson, and even the perpetually lost Zoe Salanda feel about Gina Rodriguez's consistent jabs at Black women. These are Afro-Latinas, okay? And very respectable. I love Zoe Salanda, but my thing is that I don't think Gina Rodriguez understands or gets the things that she's saying, makes her sound like a racist. And if we're supposed to be supporting our communities, we need to make sure to fully support our communities, not just half support our communities when it's benefiting us. Another person, Britt from Twitter, there's 100% could be for every POC. Instead of celebrating Black Panther, she chooses to make it about representation instead of showing love. I didn't ask for representation when watching Crazy Rich Asians because I was happy for them to finally get their shine. And I was happy for Crazy Rich Asians. I was happy for a lot of these films that's predominantly of a certain race. But my thing is, when it comes to Gina and Camilla, I'm like, okay, do y'all really have something against Black people? Because then it starts to get to that point that, we start looking at you and we're like, okay, what is your problem? Like this girl right here, she's from a show called Blackish. This is Gina Rodriguez in the movie Smallfoot. I'm going to go ahead and push this up to probably 200. And this guy, the interviewer was asking the girl from Blackish regarding, how proud she was of Black people in film and stuff. And Gina Rodriguez, which is in her normal fashion, always goes in there and she always has something to say or to try to disqualify Black people, and it kind of gets on my nerves sometimes.
You are just goals for so many young Black women who just look
for
up
more,
to
so many
you.
women.
So many women. Yeah, for women too, but for Black women, we need people on a whole nother level. How does that feel for you to be so young and just be like a role model for so many people?
I mean, it overarchingly just kind of surreal, but I have to appreciate the fact that the support comes from me just being me, and so luckily I don't have to like promote some sort of facade to gain that support. But also I feel like it's been amazing because I get to be a part of such an incredible and thoughtful and brilliant community, and so it's very easy to just be constantly motivated and inspired because you look next to you in any which direction, and there are people that are like continuing the work in another industry, in another area of your life.
Yeah. I saw Bill Street in Toronto, and one of the sayings that James Baldwin wrote was, "Love brought us here." And you two are both so loved by everybody and are two of the most protected actresses. How does it feel to get that kind of protection, that kind of love from fans and people around you?
Surreal also, yeah. I mean, you definitely get into, I know for myself, I got into the arts so that I can hopefully create a path to have a reflection for our community, for Latinos, because I like Yara, feel that very heavily, and then when I was younger, I didn't see ourselves reflected very often. So to now be living in that.
Sophia Vergara, she earned the right to be where she is today, is the highest paid television actress right now. She makes $25 million. Okay, highest paid. That's over whites, that's over Blacks, that's over Asians. So when I hear Gina sit there and say, "Oh, Latina women are down," I'm like, Sophia Vergara is on top. So I'm trying to figure out where she's getting this stuff from. So I want to see what you guys thought about that.
I mean,
I have to take a deep breath.
I mean,
Just
I just
because,
Take it.
you know what? I
It's
just
a
feel like
living.
being, Latino, Mexican, whatever you want to call me, it's like when I see people of my own culture and speak nonsense, it's just like you just stated, like, where is the unity? We all go through the same struggles. We're in it together. It's not like it's any different. And as a matter of fact, and I cannot emphasize this enough, the Latino community, has benefited from the struggles that the African American community has gone through, because they're the ones that, are the front line of really making change in this country. If it wasn't for them striking and going through all of the what do you call it, the movement, the civil rights movements, we would not have been in benefiting from being able to get hired in, since we're talking about the entertainment industry, being able to get hired as movie producers or in the backstage careers and stuff like that, because the African American community has been in the front line fighting for their rights to be able to get these type of jobs. And for her to say that, and me listening to it, is just like makes me want to strangle her. So I don't know where she's getting all this shit from, honestly.
But I think my question is, right, like, this is how do we change the narrative for the next generation, so the next generation isn't still having these conversations and it's a more inclusive, dialogue? I think, I think I think right now they're prominent because they're both, or these figures are all famous, right? And they have a huge platform and they have a huge viewership. But how do we make it so that that stuff isn't shown, right? So that younger children that are highly influenced don't see that, or don't see that narrative or that perspective, right? Because I think it's disheartening. I don't think everyone's on the same boat. Minorities, I think some minorities struggle more than others. And I think it's bringing kind of a different narrative to that struggle that we're not used to seeing. And so I don't know how to change that. Is that at an individual micro level, or is that at a macro entertainment level? That's interesting.
I think it starts early. I like to always speak from my personal experience. I grew up in the hood, what I'm saying? I moved around, whatever. And in Georgia, Black and Hispanics don't have issues. You know what I mean? But when I moved out there to LA, I was in South Central. It's refreshing in a way of like information, and it's shocking. Like, people actually hate people, you know what I mean, just from their color. Like, not all Hispanics in California, but even the Blacks. Like, they're like, I don't mess with those essays. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mess with Black people. And it was shocking to me because it's like, I'm not used to it. In Atlanta, we don't have issues with just because you're Hispanic, we don't have issues. So with her, it might have started early. You know what I mean? And that's just something that's in her. You know what I mean? And it's like, now she's at that height where she has to be careful what she says, but sometimes it might come out a little bit. You know what I mean? And that might be what those are. And I don't even blame them, because once you're brought up in a certain mind frame, it's hard to break that and redo it. So yeah, I don't like it, but when I hear people like that, it's just like, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It really is.
You know what? I think this conversation, just based off, because we'll have these conversations a lot on the Living Room Talk Show. I think, what we can try to do is find solutions or hold people accountable for stuff like this. Because, at the end of the day, it comes to a point where you have to learn and grow. And if you're not learning and growing, that's a huge, huge problem. So I think that's one thing that we need to do. But we'll come back to that during the next episode. We're going to talk about our company, our service of the day, which is Amazon. I really, 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 really like Amazon. I do, even though Jeff sounds ridiculous asking people for freaking money. I mean, that's just stupid. I can't say a damn thing about his product bad. I can't say. I mean, Amazon. I love Amazon Prime. First, I wasn't too happy about paying $29.99 a month. But I was like, okay, when you go to Kohl's and you go to JCPenney, all these other places, and you're sitting here spending money, and they're charging you shipping $5 here, $10 here, $15 here, it starts to add up. Here it's $12.99, and you pretty much, they pretty much take care of your shipping, which is pretty much expedited. Awesome service. I see their trucks going down the street every day. They also supply videos on here as well, which is great. Amazon Prime, which I watch a lot of their shows on, Amazon Music, Alexa. I mean, when you talk about a company really doing it, the only company I think that could really compete against Amazon at the time is Apple. Apple is like, one of those major corporations that's always being innovative. But when it comes to their service, I can't say anything bad about Amazon. They offer everything. I actually prefer them over Walmart because to me, Walmart, like I said, Walmart is one of those places, they got bad customer service when you go in the store. I'm just going to put it out there. Stores are usually dirty, and I just don't like how they come into a lot of small places or certain areas, and they run small businesses up out of there. So Amazon is definitely one of those places. And I wanted to see what you guys thought about Amazon.
I wonder what Amazon is doing to the small businesses that don't have the capital to have a website like this, or the, supply chain distribution that Amazon has.
They ain't giving them nothing. Let's be honest with it. They're not giving them anything. What they're going to tell them, just like all these other corporations, Walmart, Costco, everybody, hey, the government got these small business loans. You can go ahead and apply and get your business to be just like ours. We hate to say it that way, but when I've worked in a lot of corporations that's big like this for a while at the top. And when you're working with a lot of big corporations and you see CEOs and executives talk about things, it's very different from what they put out there. So I don't think they're going to help them with any of that, be honest about it.
I haven't had issues with Amazon. I have a friend who has like a clothing business, and he's been doing it for a while. And what I've noticed is Amazon doesn't accept everybody, but somehow there's some type of system where you could get, where it's like you're a respected store on Amazon, and now his products are on there. So he kind of gets to share, the traffic that comes through Amazon. So I mean, yeah, it's a major company, and yeah, they're gonna make a lot more than people, but I've been pleased with Amazon. And then I just got the book service, the Audible thing.
You reading now?
It's not like Apple. I like how you could get Apple Music and listen to unlimited songs. They only let me get one book. Like, can I not just play my fee every month and then listen to unlimited books a month?
You can actually. There is a book membership. I think I was looking on Amazon the other day, and I bought a book on how to turn my business into a franchise, and they had it on Kindle, and I saw an option for purchasing unlimited reads or something like that for like $12.99. I don't know if I read that much to be.
No. That's the one that I got. That's the one I got.
You
but it's not like that.
You only get a certain number of credits for that, though.
Yeah, they tricked me.
You don't get unlimited credits. So each book is a credit or 2 credits or something.
I'll tell you one thing.
But it had unlimited on it.
I love this Fire Stick. That's an amazing product. I can't say nothing bad about Amazon. They got it going on.
I love Amazon, but I also know that there are people that are affected by Amazon's conglomerate. So, but I love Amazon. I think they've made it very convenient in a lot of ways. I can get my deliveries in a matter of hours sometimes. That's crazy to me, but it's amazing. It's convenient. I love my Alexa app. I can't speak too loud because she'll ask me to play something. I love everything about Amazon. It's just, not everybody, people that are really affected with the change that it's made in the world are struggling. So
yeah, I see. Well, we're about to end this show of the living room. Yende, I think you are presenting our video of today. So go ahead and begin that.
Let's see. Well, I think, let me make sure.
What is that? It's like bright.
Yeah, maybe get it closer.
I know, I'm trying.
Closer.
Is it backwards?
No.
What
Yeah.
didn't he have that I didn't? Tissue.
You remember we were going through the tissue crisis?
Oh,
Oh my
God.
God.
Stop it.
But
Yeah, I seen that. I died laughing.
Well, I will see you guys during episode 4. Yeah, have a good day, okay? I'll talk to you soon.
all right.
Hi, thanks for watching The Living Room. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook pages. In addition to that, if you feel like you would like to be a co-host on our show, please make sure to submit your audition tape to thelivingroomtvshow.com, or you can also submit it on one of our social media pages. In addition to that, make sure to submit your audition tape and the reason why you would like to be on our show. We'll see you next episode. Have a good day. This episode of The Living Room is sponsored by Juiced Up, Way Smoothies on the Go. Juiced Up is a California-based company that offers smoothies and acai bowls on the go. The company accepts deliveries, and you can place your order by going to their Instagram page at JuicedUpAF, or for more information regarding the products, you can go to their website at www.juicedupaf.com.